Hi everyone, Kendall here with Lousy Llama Creations, and today we're going to be making a milk and cookies. This is a beginner-friendly pattern. For supplies, you're going to need a 5mm crochet hook, white yarn, gray yarn, tan yarn, brown yarn, a small amount of black, 10mm safety eyes, stitch markers, and tapestry needles and scissors, and maybe a cat to help. All the yarn is medium weight 4 as well. My favorite is Premier Basics. I think it's great for beginners. It's soft, but not too soft. It's like perfect to work with. To start our cookie, we're gonna make a magic ring. I'm gonna start by saying magic rings can be hard. Learning new things is hard. You got this, be slow, be patient. You're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna start by making an X around my hand and holding it in the middle. I'm then gonna take my hook. I'm gonna go under this first leg of the X, and I'm gonna scoop this part of the X underneath. This is the arm that's attached to the ball of yarn. So I'm gonna go under, over, and then scoop it through. Then I'm gonna twist up, take it off my hand, tighten this loop by pulling the yarn attached to the ball, and chain 1 by yarning over and pulling through. And this is a magic ring. I'm going to show it to you again. You're going to make that X on your hand, hold, under, over and scoop, twist up, pull out, and tighten. Chain 1 by pulling the yarn through the little loop. We're then going to make 6 single crochets on these 2 pieces of yarn. A single crochet is the stitch that we're actually going to be using to build most of our pieces. So I'm going to insert my hook through the middle of the circle. I'm going to tighten it by pulling on the yarn attached to the ball. Yarn over by placing that yarn on top and pull through. So that I have 2 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through both of the loops. That's 1 single crochet. Again, I'm going to insert my hook through the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. That was my 2nd single crochet. 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm then going to tighten my circle so it actually turns into our first round by pulling our tail, or the beginning of our crochet piece. And then you get this adorable little tiny circle that has 6 single crochets on it. And that's our first round. I want to place my stitch marker in the last stitch that I made. So each stitch, and cat hair, each stitch is going to be defined by this little V. It's right there. Pull another one too. So it's like this V. So there was 1, there's 2, and that's going to be each stitch. So as we make our piece bigger, we're going to be crocheting into the stitches. So for the next round, it says 6 increases. An increase is just 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So our first round, we ended with 6 stitches. The next round, we're gonna end with 12. So you go from 6 to 12 by putting 2 in each one. The first one's always a little tight, so you're gonna wiggle your hook in. Make sure you're going under both parts of the V. We're gonna make a single crochet. We're then going to make a second in this very same stitch. So we have 2. Moving to the next stitch, we're going to do 1 and then a second. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. As we get to our last stitch, I'm going to take out our marker and do our increase. My hook fell out, and that's okay. I'm just going to slide it back in. So you have 12. I'm putting my marker back in the last stitch that I made. Now our circle is a little bit bigger. The next round, we're going to be doing 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And then in the next one, we'll do our increase. So it's 1 and then an increase. So it's like 3 stitches. One, increase. And we're going to repeat this for the round. So 1, increase. 1, increase. 1, increase. 1, my last one, this is 1, taking out my marker, making an increase. The next round is going to be 1, 1, increase. So we're going to do 1. Next stitch, we'll do another one. It's like single, single increase. And then an increase. Single, single, increase. And we'll do this for the round. I know I'm going a little fast. Don't forget, on YouTube videos you can change the speed with that little gear in the corner. So you can go ahead and slow me down. That's why I also have text on the screen so you can follow along. Also, if you're following from one of my crochet kits, you have a written pattern with pictures. When you logged in with that password, scroll down past the video and you'll see that PDF. You can download it, print it out. Just provide some extra support if you need it. I like to follow along with paper, then I know what I'm doing. For our next round, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, and then an increase for the whole round. 3. I lost track because I got distracted by my kitties for a moment. That's okay. If you ever need to pull out your stitches, just take out your marker or take out your hook and then pull. 1, 2, there we go. 3, increase. 1, 2, 3, taking out my marker, increase. We're then going to do this thing called fastening off, which is where I'm going to cut my yarn, leaving like 6 to 8 inches. Then you're going to pull the loop all the way through. Now your piece isn't going to come undone. This is the back side of the cookie. You're going to repeat the exact same thing to get the front half, but don't fasten it off. You're going to leave it on your hook, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead and repeat the steps for this, just don't cut it off. So this is going to be the front of my cookie. I'm still attached. I'm going to remove my hook and put a stitch marker in the loop, just to mark our place so it doesn't come undone while we add our embroidery details to the front of the cookie. I'm going to start by adding the face. So I have my safety eyes. I'm just going to set these in just so I can see, make them even. I'm going to add my smile. I'm going to take some black yarn and put it on my tapestry needle. From the back side, I'm going to poke out in one corner of the smile. And then I'm going to draw a straight line across to the other corner of the smile. And then go to the bottom arc of the smile. I'm going to scoop down the straight line. I did not have enough tail, it was falling through, so I just tightened it. I'm going to scoop down the smile. Try not to get trapped on everything. And then kind of shape it out. On the back side, I'm going to tie a square knot. Don't pull too tight because you don't want to ruin your smile. And then I'm going to trim. I'm going to check to make sure this is where I like the eyes, and I think I do. So I'm going to add my backs. Sometimes the backs don't fit on like they should. So we're going to flip our backs the other way and then push. I'm going to cut a piece of brown yarn. Since this is going to be our chocolate chips, and put it on our tapestry needle. And then starting from the back, I'm just going to embroider little chocolate chips. With the brown on the back, I'm going to tie it to the middle tan string, but then trim it so it's out of the way, just so it doesn't come undone. Makes our life a little bit easier. When you are embroidering, make sure not to trap your working yarn that's still attached right here with our loop. Once that's trapped, it'll be very annoying to undo it, and we still need to crochet with it. So don't send it away quite yet. So just be mindful, push it out of the way. I am just going to add my chocolate chips with a crochet hook. Oh my goodness. I like to go over them twice, just so they're a little thicker on the tan. Just like that. And then I'm just going to go around and add some wherever I see fit on the cookie. I added all the chocolate chips I want. I'm now going to tie it to the back. Probably should have left a little bit more of a tail before I trimmed the first one, but that's okay. Again, don't pull tight. You don't want to ruin your chocolate chips. Trim, get that out of the way. We're now going to crochet these two together so you get a beautiful little cookie. More like a cookie sandwich, really. I'm going to take out my stitch marker, place it back in, add my hook back on, and then I'm going to sandwich my two cookies together. Doesn't matter where, except that middle string, you're going to want your backs back to back. You're then going to single crochet all the way around, but when you place your hook in, you want to go through both layers of the cookie. And make sure you're using the yarn attached to the ball. You don't want to use your tails. So I'm going to single crochet. Again, going through both layers. Then I'll just single crochet all the way around. Feels a little funny, but it gives such a beautiful look and technique. That's one of my favorite things to do. Way better than sewing the pieces on. As you're coming around the end, you can tuck your tails in so they stay out of your way. And I'm going to do my last few stitches. This one I'm not really going into the stitch as much as like the very first part of the cookie, so it's okay if it's not quite a stitch. Take out my marker, and the very last one, I'm going to do a slip stitch instead of a single crochet. To do that, you're going to yarn over, pull through, and then pull through again. And then fasten off. And you got a cookie. Let's hide this tail. You don't just want to cut it off because then your piece will fall apart. So I'm going to put it on my tapestry needle. To make this a little smoother, I'm kind of just going to round it out a little bit. That's optional though. Just a personal preference. On the back, I'm going to stick my needle in, wiggle, wiggle, until I'm a few inches in, and I'm going to pull that tail all the way through the piece. I'm then going to cut it. And now you have an adorable little cookie. If you're following from a crochet kit, you're going to want to make 2 cookies. For our melt glass, we're going to start the exact same way we did the cookies. So we're doing a magic ring, then 6 increases, then 1 single crochet increase, 2 single crochet increase, and then 3 single crochet increase. So like that first, it was backside. This first cookie, we're gonna be repeating the exact same thing. So I'm gonna start with my magic ring, under, over, and that chain 1, and then 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull it tight. Place your stitch marker. And then increase 6 times. Remember that first one's always a little tight. Don't worry. Mine's like extra tight today. Oh. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remove the stitch marker. 11 and 12. Stitch marker back. Next is 1 single crochet and then an increase. Last one, so a single crochet and then an increase. One, 2, and then an increase. So that was 1, 2, increase. Increase, 1, 2, increase, last sequence, 1, 2, and an increase. Last round, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. Last time, 1, 2, 3, remove marker, increase, then you're gonna leave a long tail for sewing, cut it, and fasten off. Now this is gonna be like inside our milk glass to like keep the stuffing together. But you're now going to repeat the exact same thing. Magic ring, 6 increases, 1 single crochet increase, 2 single crochet increase, and then 3 single crochet increase. But don't fasten off. We're gonna make the rest of the cup then. So go ahead, you can pause this video and go backwards a little bit. So you go through the sequence again together. But I'm gonna hop off camera and make this exact same thing, just don't cut your yarn. Okay, now that I repeated our bottom base, we're gonna do this thing called single crocheting in the back loop only. So you know how we've been going through both of this V? 2 parts of the V, we always go through the front, through both of them. Oh my god, cashew. Go play somewhere else. Thank you. For the back loop, instead of going through both, we're just gonna be going through this back loop and just single crocheting for the whole round. So I'm just putting my hook in the back. This is the bottom of our glass, so it's kind of gonna stick out so we have a nice flat bottom. Just like that. And I'm gonna do this for the whole round. Coming around to the end, I'm gonna move my marker and do the last one. Now for the next 11 rounds, we're gonna single crochet in every single stitch. Not through the back loop, through both. Just like you've been doing, just like normal, one single crochet in every single stitch. You're gonna go around, move up your marker, and do this for a total of 11 rounds. Then you'll have a nice tall glass, and I'll show you what to do so we can have the nice ridge. I'm gonna hop off camera because this will be boring for you to watch, but we're just going to do one single crochet in every single stitch through both loops. So here's the end of the 11 rounds of single crochet. It's totally starting to look like a milk glass. I took out my stitch marker because I'm finished with it for right now. And I'm gonna grab my gray yarn. Just a bit of mess on my desk. So I have to find the end. There we go. We're going to do a color change. We're gonna change to gray and then you're gonna single crochet 2 rounds in gray. So to do a color change, you're gonna do a single crochet like normal, except we're gonna finish it in gray. So we're gonna insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. So you have 2 loops on your hook, and then you're going to add your gray yarn. I want to hook it on to my hook and then hold it so it doesn't come undone and pull through. Tighten the white and then grab the working yarn or the yarn attached to your ball of yarn, not the tail. And we're going to do a single crochet just to kind of lock it in place. And there you have it. So color change is super easy because you're just doing a single crochet, but you finish it with your new color. So I want to single crochet for 2 rounds in gray, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. 2 rounds of single crochet done. To finish off our piece, similar to the cookie, we're going to do 2 slip stitches. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, and then in the next stitch, another slip stitch. And then I'm going to fasten off both my white and my gray. And then we'll fasten off the gray. On the inside, I'm going to tie these 2 tails together just so I know my color change won't come undone. Oh. There we go. Let's add our smile. So I'm gonna take my black yarn, put it on my needle, my safety eyes. Again, I'm gonna place them, then put the smile, and then put the backs on. So that way I know my spacing and how I like it. So again, from the back. Yeah, see, I don't like where my eyes are already. So we're gonna add this beautiful smile. I wanna fix my eyes a little bit. Oh. Do I like that? I think I do. I don't want to hire. No. I like it like that. Let's add our backs. Mine slipped off. There we go. And the other. I'm going to tie off my black smile and trim. Now we're going to sew that little round piece you had earlier. We're going to sew it on the inside below the gray line. So let me show you. I'm going to put the white tail on my needle. I'm going to place the coin, is what I'm going to call this piece, on the inside, right below the gray. And I'm going to sew right below the gray line. I'm going to go back and forth until I'm 3/4 of the way around, because then we're going to stuff it. So I'm just going to go slow, make sure it's right below the gray, so you kind of keep that effect. Obviously the gray is supposed to be like a clear glass. It's the best way I could figure out how to do it in crochet. And the white's the milk, so this kind of gives the illusion of the glass actually working. And it has like a rim and everything, because we don't want our milk all the way to the top. You're gonna spill. So I'm gonna go around till I'm about 3/4 of the way around. About 3/4 of the way around, I have this little opening. I'm gonna grab my stuffing. So trick to stuffing is that you want to pull it apart into small clumps and place it. You don't just want to stick the whole ball in. This gives us a fluffier look and it allows you to use less stuffing. So I'm just going to slowly go around. I like to start at the bottom to make sure I get that nice flat shape. If you have any yarn tails, you can throw them in the middle here if you need some extra stuffing. Place it around. Definitely need some more. There we go. I'm kind of shaping it from the outside too. So I'm telling the stuffing where to go. Yeah, I like that. That's perfect. So I'm going to finish up sewing all the way to the end, and then we'll talk about hiding our tails. For hiding our tails, sticking it out anywhere that's white. This I accidentally sewed over, which I'm pretty sure is what I reminded you guys not to do for the cookie. Don't do it for this either. With gray, I can also stick it anywhere that's white. I'll show you how to hide the color. There's no more. So we're gonna cut and cut. You can still see it, so you can poke it through with your scissors or kind of rub it, pull it away, and it'll go away. And then you have milk and cookies. Thank you so much for joining me today on this tutorial. I hope you had a great time making milk and cookies for Santa. Peanut wants to say thank you very much as well. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps grow so I can provide more crochet tutorials for you. Don't forget to follow us along on social media at Lousy Llama Creations, especially TikTok is where you're gonna see update on new kits, new patterns, everything that's happening and what's upcoming. Again, my name is Kendall and this is Peanut, and we'll see you in the next video.